Yo, what is going on, guys? It is midnight and today we are back again pretty much for, I guess you could say, a part 2 from the last video, which is where we're going to talk about the new units coming out in the banner coming tomorrow. Actually tomorrow, I'm not sure the exact time because it's not in UK time. I think it's in US time that it's written down, but for me I think it's like 9 AM in the morning in the UK, so if you can work it out from that, then you can work it out from that. But anyway, so yesterday's video we went about and spoke about Sebus, the new 5-star unit. This time round we're going to be talking about Pandora's actor, the new 5-star unit, and actually the first heart unit that is coming out that is 5-star. Overall, this unit is a buffer. He's not really made for damage, not made to survive, he's not made for speed. He is literally there for buffing your team and debuffing the enemies. That is the only reason why you want to get this unit and why he's got benefits, I guess you could say. Now, without further ado, we'll just jump straight into it because I don't really want this video to be as long as the previous one. As well, we're not comparing this one to anyone else because at the moment there's not any real comparisons that we can kind of do. I mean, I guess you could say Etima, you could kind of compare the two of them if you wanted to, because she is also a buffer slash debuffer. So, I mean, Pandora is going to be better regardless. So let's get into it. So, he's a 5-star unit heart. He is an enhancer, buffer slash debuffer. Basic attack is magic and race is grotesque. Never heard of that before. I think that's basically where it's like not human, so like slimes and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically the race that this Pandora's actor is. Now, stat wise, these stats here are shocking. Like, they're probably the worst, if not one of the worst in the game overall. As a whole, this unit, his stats altogether are very, very low. At the moment, the lowest in the game. That is a 5-star, and probably is on average the lowest of them all. So with Pandora's actor, his health is shocking, his damage is shocking, his defense, if I can just get look, yep, is shocking, and speed is like 300 again, yeah. Is shocking. Like, the stats are horrendous. Do not get this guy thinking he's going to be a powerhouse or he's going to stay alive or anything like that. As I said before, you're literally getting him for the buffs and the debuffs. That's it. Now, one benefit to having all this crappy stats and staying alive is the damage taken. He only takes extra damage from shining and poison. Now, there's not many enemies that do shining and poison. I mean, if you see him, so if you're farming the gold runs and you see him and you use Albedo, you'll do extra damage. And also if you use anyone that uses Shining, first one that comes to mind, Gazif and Nijin, they do light damage off the top of my head, so that'll be good against him as well if you fancy using 4-star units, that is. Now, skill 1 is a debuff skill and it is very good for the amount that it costs. He costs 3 MP to use this skill, and this skill will lower the enemy's attack by 25% for 3 turns. All of this is for 3 turns. The attack will be lowered by 25%, the defense will be 15%, and the speed will be 10%. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot, especially considering it's one foe, sorry. I don't know why I was going to say AoE there, that's for the next skill coming on. So because it's for one foe, it's going to be good against a boss. So the first one that will come to mind are the Abyss bosses, the level 85 ones, because you want to lower that guy's speed, you want to obviously make it easier to kill, and you want him to do less damage if you aren't able to do that mission. This is also good for Nijin because he does a lot of damage with that one skill, especially where he buffs himself. You can kind of use his skill and negate that buff a little bit, as well as make him slower so that you guys can attack him and possibly kill him before he uses that skill. So again, it's not a bad skill. Only really recommend to use this on bosses. Very cheap MP, and you get a lot of overdrive as well. You get 12% from one skill, which is a good amount. Now, the next skill is one that I probably wouldn't recommend using if using at all, and that is his damaging skill. So it will increase his overdrive by 6%, so not too much. It will deal 107% dark type magic damage to one enemy with a 32% elemental rate. Now, sorry about that, I got an itchy nose. This is a 5 MP cost, which is very bad for a single target use, especially since the damage that this unit does is little to none, as well as the fact that the damage it does itself isn't a lot. The only thing that's good about this is it is full dark type damage, meaning if you're using it against someone that is weak to dark, you're going to do even extra damage. It's the only time that is kind of relevant. I would avoid skipping this skill at all costs. It is just not worth it at all. It's very weak. You don't even get a lot of overdrive for it, and it's a 5 MP skill. Overall, just skip this skill, don't use it. Very weak in his part, I guess, in his kit. But obviously, because he's a buffer, he needs to have some sort of damaging skill regardless. So that's what we got, which is pretty unfortunate. It should be a lower MP, really. If it was like 2 or 3 MP, yeah, use it. Now, the next one is probably the main part of his kit, the best thing that will make him where he is rated, which is A tier. So, well, that's where he's going to be rated on the global one. I think he is rated A tier on the JP one as well. So yeah, have a look at that when you guys get a chance. But 9% overdrive bar, so not too bad, kind of in between the 2 other skills, which isn't too bad at all. Does 25% attack for your whole ally team. This is for your whole ally team, by the way, for 3 MP. So it's like 1 MP per person, and then you're getting 1 for free. So it's 25% attack for 3 turns, minus or plus 10% damage reduced. So basically you take 10% less damage for 3 turns, and you get a plus 10% speed for 3 turns. Now, the speed is a good stat for the harder levels, because later on in the game, speed is going to be crucial, because you want to kill the enemies before they can kill you. When the game first came out, the global one, everyone that was doing the Abyss quest, the undead one, the level 85, obviously you want to kill the first few waves as quickly as you can, and not many people had the speed to do that. This buff will kind of negate that and make it a little bit better for you, so that you don't have to worry about putting on relics that are speed use. You can kind of rely on a 10% increase. Overall, this skill is insanely good, considering you're getting it on all your teams. So in reality, you're getting 100% damage, so your team is getting 100% extra damage if you're doing 25 on each. You get 40% extra damage reduction to the whole team, and 40% speed for 3 turns for the cost of 3 MP. So by the time you've used this skill, and it's run out, you'll have enough MP to do it again, if you stay alive that long and if the mission takes that long. Now, he gets plus 5% physical defense, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's better that than to have an attack buff, because you don't want this guy doing any damage. You want him to stay alive, you want him to be quick, which leads us on to his next passive, which is 5% speed. So overall, his passives are pretty good. There's not really much I could say that I would recommend for his passive. I mean, physical defense, maybe have something instead where as a whole, so damage reduction 5% as a whole would be better. But yeah, speed and defense is basically what you're going to be putting into this unit. Now, overdrive is pretty useless. 69%, nice. 69% physical damage to all enemies. That's it. No extra stuff. Just 69% physical damage, and that's obviously at max level. 63% at level 1. So, in conclusion, this unit is actually going to be rated in the A tier, probably in front of Masked Irons, just simply because he's the only buffer. He's the only 5-star heart unit in the game at the minute, so he is probably going to be above Masked Irons. So he's not got much competition for the role that he plays. However, better support is obviously Mare, just simply because heal is broken. With this unit, if you're going to put relics on, I'm not sure of the name of them off the top of my head, but there's one that I would just say in general have either full-on speed on this unit, or have relics that will increase defense and HP. Another good one is the relic Momonga, if you have it, to keep him alive a little bit longer, which also increases the target's speed. Regardless, you do not want to be attacking with this person at all. The only time you're going to be attacking is if your team is, you have no MP and you have to attack, or if you've already buffed your team too much, or if the enemy's already debuffed, but you can keep stacking those effects on. So just keep buffing your team, keep debuffing the enemy, just very rarely attack. Just rely on your team to do the damage. You're going to be the support. So yeah, speed, defense, HP. Momonga is a good relic I would recommend, just because the passive ability is very good for the unit, as well as getting the speed buff, because you want to be attacking first so you can buff your team. Now that that's all been said, I'm going to talk about my conclusion. Is it worth summoning for him? But it's exactly the same reason as Sebas. If you like Pandora's actor, then summon for him. If you need a heart unit, or if you just want this unit in general, go for it. If you're a WoW, if you're a pay to win, however you want to say it, I would go for him because he's the only buffer at the minute. And obviously if you're a collector like myself, then obviously go for it. If you're free to play and you have a decent team, I would probably give it a skip. There are going to be better buffers later on, especially ones that will deal damage and buff your team and deal damage and buff yourself, stuff like that. This one just buffs and that's it, and debuffs, that's it. No extra damage or no extra damage dealing to them. It's just simply buff, debuff. So in free to play plays, if you have a decent team, I'd give it a skip. If you're planning to re-roll for this unit, I would give it a skip. I know what the next banner is. Well, is very likely what the next banner is going to be, so I know what that's going to be because of this one, because now that this one's official, the next one is most likely going to be what I was told also, and the next one is also a skip, so you have a lot of time to save your gems for one of these Nazarick banners, which are the best units in the game if you don't know. Now as a whole, as the banner, you got Pandora and Sebas. Now again, all the criteria that I said before, if you like these characters, then summon for them. If you're a WoW, summon for them. If you're a collector, summon for them. But if you're a free-to-play player, I would give this banner as a whole a skip. Even if you, like, Pandora's pretty good. Like, even though he's a high-tier unit at the moment, and he will last you a long time. So it will last you about the same length as Mare and Ainz, if you're going to use him. The only downfall with this is the fact that you have a chance to get Sebas, which is bottom tier, and he stays bottom tier until if they buff him, which is very unlikely, but he is always going to be at the bottom. So I would probably give the banner a skip. If you do end up getting Pandora's Actor, he's a good unit, but he'll only be very good for past level 85 missions when you actually need to strategize your tactics, because if you're playing this guy on auto maps, you're going to be doing that damaging skill, which is useless. He's only going to be good if you're going to do, even Khan Village is too easy for him at the moment, but missions that are like level 85 and above, I would recommend to use him, excluding Abyss, because many people can do that anyway without him, but eventually you'll get events where there'll be 85 mission, 90, 95 and 100. That's when he's going to come into play. It's going to be useful. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow's video is going to be a summoning video, so I'm probably going to drop like 2,000 gems, 1,000 for each character in the banner, and hopefully I can get Pandora's Actor. I mean, I know I've just completely contradicted myself, but it'd be cool to get a heart unit. I already have so many power units, so Sebas would not be useful at all, and it'd be cool to have a buffer, because when we do Discord and we do co-ops and stuff, I can kind of be the buffer, because I don't think many people are summoning for this unit. But if you would like to see someone summoning for this unit, stay tuned for tomorrow's video and you will see me summon 2,000 gems into it. Anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully this helped, and yeah, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord and like and comment and all that other jazz. Peace out.